Um, and it talking about bands that's been around for 29 years. Let's go on to Bo's choice because he picked Killswitch Engage, which I was totally excited about. I haven't got a chance to listen to this track either. I'll let Bo tell us why he picked this band and track, and I'll save a lot of the things I want to say. I hope I got enough time because, like I said, Killswitch is like home for me. So go ahead, Bo.
So I haven't fully listened to this, like actually in-depth listen to this. I just kind of, you said you wanted to do this, so I didn't even know they had a video out for this yet. Killswitch is one of those, just honestly, just like the old In This Moment. Like those are like just kind of time, like the original couple albums are just like timeless for me. Like that's like the songs that were in my head at the time, and I still do that kind of music. Killswitch has never really deviated from what they do other than the singers. Like they have a thing that they do, which is they kind of blend all the heavy stuff that we love all into this one thing. And every song's going to have elements in it that are just going to always like catch you. And that's what always sucks about Killswitch is they release full CDs. No matter which ones they like, they always joke. They say like the last 4 or 5 CD songs on the CD are just the ones that they had to do for the CD, and those end up being like my favorite songs half the time. And I know that I'm never gonna ever get to see them like play any of them live because they've got way too much music anyways. But like if you actually like listen to every track on every album, every song is good all the time, and they just have their thing that they do, and they just do it amazing and consistently and don't stop.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Yeah.
So man, to I'm gonna save some of it faster, but I do want to say this. Like, I'm excited about this track. You guys have no idea. I've seen these guys probably 7 or 8 times live with both singer variations. So this is important. Don't ruin it for me, guys. I'm talking to Killswitch. Don't ruin it, guys. So here we go. If you're hanging out with us and you're listening, make sure your eyes on the screen because Killswitch Engage has a YouTube video for this as well. This song is called I Believe. Let's see if Killswitch stands up to the test of time. Here we go. All right. I don't care who wants to go first. I'm going first. I gotta flex my nerd. Okay. Um. So just to show you how much of a nerd I am, bassist is Mike. The two guitarists are Adam and Joel. The singer is Jesse Leach, who was the original singer that dropped off the face of the earth about 15 years ago. They got Howard, and Justin's the drummer. But anyway, enough about that. This track specifically, if you follow the discography of Killswitch Engage, and you told me to put this in one of their previous albums, it's definitely for me Daylight Dies, that album. The way it was mixed, the sound they went for, that's what it reminds me of. It wasn't the old school original albums like Alive or Just Breathing or End of Heartache and all that, but still a very iconic album for them. So awesome sound that they went with this track. And I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna let you guys have some words in, because I'll take all of these words on this band. One of the things that I love about Killswitch, and they do it here really well. We've talked about it on the show, and it's actually something that I tell everyone about my music. You know, I like to write about a variety of things, you know, and sometimes those things aren't great things, but I always make sure that I leave that glimmer of hope in it, you know, in some way, or something to pick you up from whatever that bad thing is we're talking about. And they always have done that, you know. End of Heartache, My Curse, this track, you know, and that's one of the things that I'm so glad that they stay true to, because like we talked about on the first band tonight, people can connect to the story. So I'm thrilled that the track had that essence about it. I do miss some of the more raw Killswitch, but this was still a great track, and definitely 110% Killswitch. Drop C, 6 strings, you know. But all right, I'll shut up a little bit. You guys go ahead, pick it apart.
Okay, I'm just gonna start off. I love it. I thought it was just, you know, a classic Killswitch song. Just has all the feel, like kind of you know, they have kind of song structure formulas, but they don't, right? Like it's how I write music a lot of the time, which is like kind of just like dialed back ADHD, right? So they have like a couple hooks in every song, and then they'll play off of like the riffs and all that stuff and make totally different parts, but still like flow with the song. And the drums have just as much to do with all their music like success, I think, as even as like their guitars and stuff, because that drummer has always just been amazing at just being slightly relentless. Like he does not stop, like just like the constant double bass to like close out the last like third of the song pretty much. Like he just does not stop. He just is a machine with that kind of stuff, and the way that he like writes those parts is fun. But it's got the classic Killswitch riffs, which somehow they still keep fresh. Like they don't repeat. Like all the albums they've done, they've never changed tuning. You know, like nothing crazy they've done to keep on doing it, but they keep on doing stuff that feels like Killswitch, but isn't just like a rehash of old songs. At the very end, they do a little clean part before they go into the end of the song, and that is just like absolute throwback Rose of Sharon ending is what exactly what I heard. Like even the way that like Adam kind of like did his little clean vocal going into that, like he did back then too. So like that towards the end of the song, they have that absolute like throwback that I caught. Uh, Other than that, I just one of the things that I've always loved about Jesse versus Howard, and I love Howard, he's amazing. Um, to me, there's no who was better. Like I love them both. They were both different and did their own thing, but the music was still Killswitch. Like that didn't change. But just Jesse, just especially in the videos and stuff too, he is just like he just is always so passionate, like with what he's doing. Like maybe it's just a trained showmanship, but if you like listen to interviews that he does with people, like you know that you know he just pours himself into all that stuff. So just the way that he like does stuff in the videos, it just really like portrays like what I hear and what he's singing. So I love the track. It's definitely just a solid, like, top track on a Killswitch album. They always do this. When I say like how have they never repeated anything? They always do that fun little like kind of a lead part over the rhythms that is kind of like always a little bit of a focus on the music side, but it's always that little bit of like a dissonant thing going on, but still melodic. And they do that so often, but they never like repeat the riff and like or like make it sound like any other one that they've done. But it's just like it's a Killswitch song, just because I hear that, like kind of like how August Burns Red always has that the key that or the scale that they write in. It's always kind of that same like thing that they do, but all the riffs are always kind of unique. So that's all I got to say about that.
All right.
Yeah, I agree with that. Their riffs are very identifiable. Like even if you just heard the first riff intro to any song, you had no idea who was going to be played. You'd hear that opening riff and you'd be like, "That's Killswitch, hands down." And that's pretty amazing that they're Adam. I think he's a huge part of that. Just that very distinct Killswitch sound. I agree with you when I cannot pick a favorite between Howard and Jesse. I think they both brought their own pizzazz to Killswitch. They were both a great fit for the band. I do love Howard's side or his project, not side project because he's not in Killswitch anymore, but I love his project, Light the Torch. I've seen them live. They're amazing. This isn't about Howard. This is about Jesse, but Jesse is a fantastic vocalist. He has such control. And, even when you see him live, which I know you guys have seen them live plenty of times, he has such great breath control. Like, even if you've been close enough to see him, like the way that his body moves and stuff when he's screaming and singing, like he's never visually like shaking or strained. Like that shit is so controlled. It's absolutely amazing. And it's absolutely beautiful because that is what it should be as an aggressive vocalist. But I love that he has that really good blend of just like a good aggressive scream in ways, but he's also got a really good rasp that he controls as well. So for anybody that says metal is not positive, go get you some Killswitch Engage. All right, you don't even know what you're talking about. You don't even know what you're talking about. Yeah. But anyways, another expected. I mean, I would expect this from Killswitch Engage. They delivered, and yeah, really good track. Really good track.
So Dom, you're I guess the resident youngster. You and Scarlett. So what you know about Killswitch?
Oh, I love Killswitch, but I'm also a much bigger Howard fan for Killswitch.
Honestly, I figured you would be.
His vocal style.
We had to have one.
Yeah, it's more appealing to me. I like it a lot more. I like what he brought. But I think I'm not saying that this guy isn't talented and really good, because he is. And even though through that dynamic, both of them have been able to keep a very similar feel in their vocal styles all through Killswitch, like through their entirety. Like I listen to him and I'm never like, oh, that just sounds like a completely different singer. Or like it's still, they bring like that same fire and spirit that they have in the song. And a lot of like the way they hold their vowels, the way they hold a lot of, I guess their melodic structure is pretty similar. And I've loved that because it's kind of kept Killswitch the whole time. It never felt like Howard's gone, so now Killswitch isn't Killswitch anymore. It never felt like that. But right. This, for them, after all of these years, and as a vocalist and as a band, like going through different levels of maturity, growing, having different experiences, for them to translate that same feeling you'd get if you went and listened back to their old albums and to their newer stuff is such a treat, because a lot of bands don't. And a lot of bands just they try new things or they do stuff, and they've done something really good for a really long time, and it's still good, and it's not worn out. And I think them able to kind of translate their new experiences, and as they've grown and gotten older, to be able to still translate that into new songs that still have the same feeling, give you that same feeling, is pretty remarkable.
Yep, I agree. So back to the nerd. So you can't talk about Killswitch without talking about Howard, even though he wasn't in this track. And one thing I like to say about their vocals, I think the big difference to Dom's point, you don't feel like you're missing anything really whenever you're listening to Jesse or you're listening to Howard as far as Killswitch as a whole goes. But I'll say that, in my opinion, as not a vocalist, Jesse entices you or makes you feel what he's singing, the way he sings. He makes you feel those emotions. Whereas Howard, you kind of don't have a fucking choice. He's got that power and presence behind his vocals that it just shoves it down your throat. You know, I think that for me, that's the way I tell their vocal skills apart, I guess, because that dude's just got so much power. You know, I don't know if he's just got bigger lungs or what, but he's
been doing it for so long too, and he still just doesn't like even with all the little new projects he's done, like it's still. Like not like his voice isn't wrecked. He can still scream. He can do all that stuff, and he still has all that just all that power behind it.
Yeah, because
you gotta love him.
Yeah, because like again, nerding out a little bit, but I've seen them multiple times. I got to see Jesse. I've got to see Howard, and I was fortunate enough to have on the rail a few times with them. And you know how the vocalist normally does that little thing where they're singing, screaming, and they kind of lean over into the crowd. And this is where I created this thing with them. You know, Jesse, I'm hearing the band, I'm hearing his voice coming out of the speakers and everything like that. But there was just one time, I can't remember exactly what song it was they were doing, but Howard leaned over and he was doing his thing. And I could actually hear him hollering down at us and with everything coming out of the speakers, because he's just like projecting so much. I don't even know how all the mics he sings into don't tap out, limit out, because he is like putting so much shit into that microphone whenever he pushes. But anyway, I'm gonna get off the Howard and Jesse kick. But one other thing to point out from my boy Bo, because we're gear guys, they are still rocking comparisons. I paused it here and I saw the dragon tails. Yeah, so for anyone that's not familiar, you see those dragon tail headstocks, that is like iconic comparison guitars. Yep. And they're still rocking, which is awesome. Before I die, I'm gonna have one of those. I'm gonna have one custom.
Save those pennies, buddy. Yeah. Save those pennies.
Yeah, I'm gonna have one. Just because they had one. That's the only reason I want. I'm not even gonna play the bastard. I'm gonna go hang it on the wall. But
that's allowed. I like that.
Yeah, but yeah, dude. I was so tickled whenever Bo said he was gonna bring a Killswitch song. So again, for those of you at home, Bo brought us Killswitch Engage, the mighty, the legendary, the OGs of metalcore, some of the pioneers of metalcore, I guess to be exact. Let me be specific. East Coast metalcore, because they apparently, that's a thing. Don't call it West Coast metalcore if it's East Coast. And again, they kind of stay true to their roots. They did all the things that you would expect a Killswitch song to do, and I think the verdict across the board was everyone enjoyed it. Yeah, so go ahead, Killswitch, still doing it after, I don't know, they're probably in that 29-year range too at this point, I would imagine, somewhere in there, 25, 29 years, because don't want to show my age, but I remember when I first heard their first track, I think I was maybe like a junior or senior in high school, and that was a little while back. But I see Bo typing. He's going to find that answer. But while he does that, thank Bo for bringing
Since 1999.
Oh, so that's 20. Jeez, I can't even do math.
26 years now, buddy.
Shit. But anyway, let's move on before people do all that math. Killswitch Engage, Bo, badass track. I think it's an awesome track that brought to the first host hangout. Loved it. And